represent for the Nevis, everything agriculture show. Big up Banky, DJ X-Way, you know. So tune in, and if you're on the internet, zoom in. One love, from the Nevis, everything agriculture show. Listen to man. Ain't no place like me. Me don't know about you.
Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in to 2020 Vision Radio this Tuesday and every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show on 2020 Vision Radio. Tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. So 102.1 FM this Tuesday, every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. It's everything agriculture.
Yes, good evening and welcome to the Everything Agriculture Show. You're listening to Banky, your host, and my co-host Yason Tofari all the way in California. Greetings, Yason, and this evening we have a two-part show. For the first hour we'll be speaking about ganja reasoning, as part 2 from last week, ganja reasoning. So we have not a stranger to the office, you know what I mean, so I can't say, I guess I'll just say our next co-host is our co-host this evening and host. So Alan Powell, Alan, greetings. I was glad having you here as a young person and getting the perspective as a lawyer and the legalities when it comes to the ganja and stuff like that. And you know, it'll be kind of controversial sometimes, and we love when you speak your mind and you just don't hold no sides, and that's what everything agriculture is all about educating the generation coming forth and stuff like that. So before we get started, say good evening to the folks in Lyamega and Oli. For those who don't know, that we mean St. Kitts and Nevis if you're first time listening, but we just have to keep it with the native's name. Always pay homage to the ancestors. These things are very important by calling the name. It means a lot. So good evening to the folks also in the neighboring islands, St. Martin, St. Bart's, Statia, Sabre, you have Mountstrat, you have the U.S. Virgin Islands and the BVI, also the folks over in Antigua and Bermuda, and you have Bermuda. Also you have folks higher up, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, and have you come back around, come to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia and so forth. We have folks all over in the diaspora, as far as Europe, Africa. I know you have some graduation going on in Costa Rica. Have some students graduating. Big up Nashem, my cousin. She have a daughter, Sabre Jones, one of the sisters graduated from Earth University. So we have a next female coming out when it comes to agriculture studies. So it's a beautiful thing, and agriculture looking bright, especially in the female aspect of it. No gender bias here in everything. Without woman, with men, nothing exists. So women are always in front. There is no God without a goddess. So you have to always pay homage to the females, especially the ancient one, the black woman and child. So good evening to the folks also, in North America and Canada, from Maine right down to the Florida Keys, folks over in Chi-Town, Chicago. Now we're getting into something I forget. You have a winter season, because you're here and we're enjoying the nice cool weather here. Forget the folks up there shivering under minus degrees temperature. So Chicago, you have New York, Boston, those places, and wherever it is cold. I don't know what to say. But I'm just,
Banky,
yes,
before you continue, you might need to take a half a minute and adjust the camera so that the viewers can see
Alan.
Mr. Powell, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Give me a minute there. But in the meanwhile, go and control the mic.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, you know, welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to be on another edition of Everything Agriculture. I'm looking forward to the discussion. It's always a pleasure to have a legal mind like Alan in to discuss some of the issues and help to I hope prayerfully edify a lot of the masses, especially where some of these new recent changes has been you're good. Changes have been made in terms of cannabis regulations on St. Kitts and Nevis, and I think a lot of the people are still confused, even though there is the quest to move forward in terms of cannabis legalization. There's a lot, decriminalization, sorry. There's a lot that has been done, and there's still a lot that the public is not aware of. And we have been crying from this forum in regards to, getting information and having those who are in the position to bring the information to us so that the average individuals could be more clear as to, where we are with the issue of cannabis and synthetics and EV. So it's always good to have another legal mind and plus somebody who is on the ground, per se.
Alan?
So welcome, Alan, and that's your task this evening, so to speak, to help us edify and help edify the nation from your understanding so far in terms of what it is, what you understand from the laws or what was passed and so on in the house, and help to clarify for us along with the masses, because I think a lot of us are still left out in the cold where it is concerned. So hopefully you could do that in a short space of time.
Well, good night, everybody. Really and truly, I am interested really and truly in your feedback as well. You understand? Because even, for example, if I tell you something and you can understand what I'm saying clearly, that in and of itself says that there is some little complications.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because there is where tricks could come into the thing. But where the language is clear and easy to understand, then nobody would have any confusion.
Right.
As I was saying, good night to everybody, as you were saying. But I got a busy night tonight, and I got to say I had a good night tonight.
We can get through.
We're gonna get through.
Of course.
Well and truly, we got 3 pieces of legislation that were passed recently that we're gonna talk about. One of them we could talk about really quickly, even though I still want to hear your feedback. One of them was an amendment to the Medical Act. And under the Medical Act, really and truly, it was a small amendment, but it was an amendment deleting the expression cannabis, the dried flowering or tops of the pistillate plant cannabis sativa and the resins prepared therefrom. Under the Medical Act, cannabis was grouped as a poison. So you couldn't prescribe it.
Of course. Yes.
So those were little issues. So in dealing with it medically, you had to make this provision here, deleting it. So this was just basically a small thing. So they don't consider it as a poison anymore under the laws of St. Christopher.
So if it's not a poison, so it's legal. So it can't be legal if it's not a poison.
Well, as I tell you, I feel like that was more to do with prescription. Because
but if it's prescription, it's not a poison. If somebody's not a poison, if water is not a poison, a soft drink is not a poison. You understand? Sugar apple is not a poison, so you don't need a prescription. So it's not a poison, so it is legal,
so
right?
You see, but Banky, that was part of. So I guess Alan was asking for my feedback on that.
Oh yeah,
and that was part of what I was addressing with Garfield.
Of course, I was just listening, and I was just listening. Of course, yes.
Right, last week. Because what I was saying, last week, right, was from the outset, cannabis was wrongfully classified. So
of course, we all understand that.
Huh?
No, I'm saying we all overs that, not under. We overs these things. Let me speak in this kind of terminology. We overs these things.
From the outset,
yes,
it was wrongfully classified. So now, making that step to remove it as a poison, as we can see, like I was seeking to point out, that is just a part of the quest, as they would have said, that they are pushing forward from the medical side, not necessarily paying much attention to the recreational or the religious aspect of it, but that fits into, as Alan is pointing out, that it just fits into their quest to from the medicinal side, because now taking it as a poison now puts it in a position where it could be prescribed, but it still leaves it.
Don't just focus on the medicine, it's also the business.
Yeah, but okay, good. So
follow the money as well.
Okay. Remember, we live in a capitalistic world. Okay. We love to speak about capitalism.
Yeah, bring it
and remember, a capitalist world is about greed by any means necessary, And that is what we ancestors just brought upon when it comes to in the 15th and 16th century. It's been about around politics, you see, and money and greed. and of a superior race. That's why, and that is still continuing, and that is how you have to see things. You can't see it the other way. It's about a superior race. It's about politics, and it's about money by any means necessary. And if I mean, I figure, take a next race and convince them you come from nothing, and remember the Pope, and what am I saying? Sanctioned slavery, you know. You all have the right to go out and crusade and take what you want and denounce. At the Pope do it? Okay, so that's where it started. So, marijuana now is just sugar. It's just tobacco. It's the same thing.
You don't think that we achieve more than just that?
Achieve what? More than what?
More than capitalism?
No, until I get... Remember, okay, I have to go back deeper again now. Remember, if you go in the Americas, in California and places, you find the Olmecs, which is us. So which is our landing. You see, so until I get back the land, I mean, all the land them. Then I achieve. But if I ain't going to get back our mind, how can I achieve something? Because that's where if you start from. Give me back where you take back. Because when you check it out, right, when you go to museum, you know, take out everything within of ancient Kemet. Not like back in the museum them. That is the reality. The museum are based upon our culture. You got to see things for what it is.
I feel like I'll be straight far from...
No, we're not straight far. It's the same thing, the poison. Because it's the same, because the museum is not you. Because everything is just programming and control of words, and just because of money. It's all profit. So because they have never poison, but now you're going to say it's not poison because you want to control it because of money. That's all it is. Legalize the thing. Just like a lime tree. Banana tree, everything. Got the same stuff, you're still not going to grow it?
Well, I feel like we're going to come to the conversation later because ultimately, I was speaking to a Rasta the other day, Jay the father.
All right.
Boom.
Yes.
I was speaking to him and I was telling him the commission, what I would like to be on is the Recreational Use Commission.
Where is
and
that?
we're taking baby steps.
Yes.
We're doing all medical, and now we're going to talk a little later. They have the Freedom of Conscience Cannabis Act, and we're taking baby steps. But we're gonna get there someday, and that's gonna be the real thing.
Okay. Let me see this again. I remember, folks, if you want to be a part of the show, the telephone, I'll come there. If anyone want to be a part of the show, the telephone, because we got for an hour, so we have to do a part 3 and then more to get it falling around. The landline is 469-7953, 669-7312, or overseas 1917-460-2187. All right. Remember, from in the beginning, they said the Constitution, since it was established in 1983, gave every citizen the right to use the herb or whatever it is as a sacrament. That is what was that is what was established through the Sankofa case. And then he take this judge coming from who is not from here to tell our great minds of scholars. Because remember, we have a lot of scholars, you know, so we have to put it like that. We can't overlook that we have a lot of scholars, Alan. So you have to tell the story properly. And for generation, we have people being suffered and brutalized by something that they have the right to use. Citizens, just that. Okay, even man who not got locked being brutalized. Gun butt, squeeze this, all kind of stuff. One ton of things, traumatized, doing nothing that was within their rights, you know. Well, let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm going out of my bounds. Because you're the lawyer, you know. That's what you're here for. If I'm saying something that is not correct, stop me and correct me and tell me.
Well, I feel like the judge emphasized within your private dwelling.
Well, they might go in your house, in the place that comes to.
No, I understand.
Yes.
But I'm telling you that the limitation what I would place on what you're saying is that I feel like what the judge was saying is when you're home, that's supposed to be your home.
That's fine. So why no other judge had said that? Prior to this judge? Through the Sankofa case.
Well, it goes back to something that I would like to happen in a number of instances, but it wasn't tested like that. And in instances
it was
before,
tested. Okay.
It been instances before because I also look because for Allah to change really and truly, it shouldn't. How we do it? Remember, it's an OECS quote we got.
Yeah, but
So you could also look at cases in St. Vincent, Antigua. Even when it was tested in Antigua,
yeah.
they still, I guess, let me tell you something. Sankofa had scientific studies and all kind of thing to
Yeah.
back up what he was saying. And I don't think that the information was necessarily there
Yeah,
at that time.
But apart from the scientific studies, our constitution was still different to other constitution, which gave our citizens the right. That we were basing on it, gave the citizens the right to you because it was a part of the constitution as a sacrament. That was that's right.
No,
No one.
that you would have. You would got to find it. If I pull up the constitution right now on my phone and I saw it sacrament, I am not.
So what? So the case was based on then.
That's what I'm telling you. Where the case was a two-part thing. The case was based on his religious rights.
Yes.
But the case also was emphasized on his personal right, especially with regards to privacy.
Okay. I got. So this was something similar to the Bougainville Act then. That was one similar, right? So for privacy, you could do it in your house. That is what.
With regards to that. As far as me understand the law,
yes.
That's not supposed to be legal. But really and truly, it's just the law is not enforced. They should take it off the books, really and truly. Because it's not enforced.
It's not legal.
If you read it, it's not legal.
What is not legal?
Buggery is illegal and the laws of St. Christopher and Nevis.
But wasn't there a case that was
what did the age go in
overturned?
the house and change the other day?
Well, okay. Maybe me not up to date. But all I'm telling you is,
we not spend all night on the Bougainville thing, you know. We just make a reference. You understand?
Now me tell you how best but what we really supposed to do with.
So, but go ahead. I love this shirt. I love this shirt.
I know that, man. Let me see. Oh yeah, that was the first one. The next one is they amended the Cannabis Act. I would say, and I like to show you because I feel like I could just talk how.
No, you have to, no.
Talk. So
once you speak in that place, the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old can understand.
Yeah, they really and truly they get the Rastaman them out of the cannabis.
Yes.
Medicinal act. They get rid of the Rastaman them out of that. That's what I see from the amendments. We're gonna go through them. For example, Section 2, they delete. They say deleting the definition of expression place of worship. Place of worship was a place registered place of worship approved by the authority. That not under the medicinal. And that's how come. Well, we're gonna get to that. Oh yeah, the next one. The minister responsible for that gonna be the Minister of Agriculture. You know.
Say more from under the Prime Minister.
Yeah,
of course,
yes.
Yes.
You know about that.
Yeah.
So, but as I tell you, they gave rid of the rest of them. The next amendment. This is just a board thing. The board gone from 4 persons to 7 persons. Section 5 amend Section 39. And Section 39 got to do with Rasta again. Section 39 is the regulation of use of medicinal cannabis at a place of worship. That section there deleted completely. So that's not gonna mean it.
Okay.
That being said, medicinal cannabis may be used at a registered place of worship for spiritual healing, upliftment, or edification in accordance with the provisions of this act. All of that they got. Section 49 was a licensing system. And under the licensing system, I think it is paragraph F. You would have had to get a license to use medicinal cannabis at a registered place of worship. They take that out completely.
Okay.
You see what I tell you? They take
Yes,
Rasta.
yes.
That's what I'm telling you. They take Rasta out of the medicinal cannabis business. Yeah.
So basically, and the place of worship, you're legal to do what you want.
No, we come into that. That's
Okay.
what I tell you. They take Rasta out of their business, but they put Rasta in a different category. This is where we have the freedom of conscience.
Okay.
You understand? So that's how which part you're going to find out what kind of with Rasta business.
Go ahead, I listen.
Okay.
You give me the impression like then you come up with a different thing. I thought that way end and now you got something else.
No, you listen. If they move, if
the amendment spoke to something that they would have addressed earlier. Remember, they went in the house and they addressed something in regards to Rastafari. So based on what I gather from what Alan is reading there in terms of the exemption of Rastafari to certain things, it is based on whatever provisions they would have put in place. No, I guess is probably under the conscience. What is it? What the next one you say you just talk about there?
The Freedom of Conscience Act, Cannabis Act.
Right. So maybe whatever amendments they're saying now, these are excluded because they're already dealt with under that. So I guess we would need to get into that conscience eventually.
Mm-hmm. And you see, if you really understand what happened is that they try to put consciousness within a medical act. You understand? They try to twist it in. And then you even find that's how come you got people who like, as I said, recreational. They wanna know, this apply to me? What's gonna happen is you better believe they're gonna get it to apply to them. Because there's ways to get it to apply to you. So that's what's gonna end up happening. But they take Rasta out of the that one there. The next one is J. You would have had to get a license for a place of worship, which shall be issued to a registered place of worship to cultivate, harvest, trim, cure, package, or use medicinal cannabis in accordance with the act. So they take Rasta out of that. Are you pleased to be out of the medicinal cannabis act?
Well, the herb is always medicinal to us, you know.
Okay.
It's not like we need somebody to tell us what the herb is. This and remember, it's those
Well,
who fight the herb.
I don't know if I would safely say that I agree that we are taken out in the sense that, well, sorry, let me put it this way. If it does not prohibit Rastafari eventually from benefiting from the cannabis business or the medical venture, if so, then it becomes a problem because we should not be exempted from, if we need to benefit economically from the business. So if in that what they're doing, when you say they take Rasta out of it, if it means that we're going to be excluded from that side of it, then that is where
you have an issue.
I would have some questions. And this is why I think the consultations, this is why I was saying the consultations with the public and so on should have been more public or publicized.
They should have been live like this.
Yeah. And
numerous.
Right. So that people could have, not just a general, because I think even with the Rastafari, they met with, members of the ORU and so on, but did they really have like a general meeting to say, we're calling all Rastafari to come forward, because some Rastafari are not members of any organization. And, so that in itself was another point to consider.
Okay. And we come to the final one now.
Mm-hmm.
The Freedom of Conscience Act, Cannabis Act.
Freedom of what's a conscience?
Freedom of Conscience.
Conscience.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Conscience, I mean I see conscious.
No, go ahead, I got you.
This is to facilitate the personal cultivation by adults of cannabis for private use in a secured area within a private residence and the personal use and the personal possession and use of cannabis in certain public places within designated smoking areas for the enjoyment of a person's freedom of conscience, including freedom of thought and of religion, and for related matters. That is only like contain the recreational tune.
Before we come back, let me bring in the folks from Tatola from the CBN network, and you go and you go back over that day again.
Okay.
I like it reading over again. Tonight is a mystic night.
Well, around break it down piece by piece, and this I can go over then.
This 2020 Vision Radio 102.1 FM program is being simulcast weekly on the Caribbean Broadcast Network, heard on CBN Superstation 90.9 FM, Go Loud Digicel app, covering the entire U.S. and British Virgin Islands, and CBN TV on Flow Channel 101 and on CCT TV Channel 291. We do appreciate our U.S. and British Virgin Island listeners and viewers joining us for these informative and entertaining programs on 2020 Vision Radio and 102.1 FM.
Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in to 2020 Vision Radio this Tuesday and every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. It's all about everything agriculture with the man Banky and Company alongside Yason Tafari. It's your weekly educational show on 2020 Vision Radio. Tune in. It's inspirational, educational, and you won't want to miss it. So 102.1 FM this Tuesday, every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. It's everything agriculture.
Yes, and we are back, and welcome to the Everything Agriculture Show. This evening, we're talking about part 2 of last week's show, Ganja Reasoning. So we have our guest this evening is a lawyer, Alan Powell. We love getting the youth in studio and getting the perspective and the way forward when it comes to the cannabis industry. If you're first time listening, I'm your host, Banky. I'm a co-host, Yason Tafari, all the way in California as usual. Everything Agriculture Show is about educating each and every one that agriculture is everything that we do. I mean, we house, our eating, our medicine, just everything about us rely on the earth resources. So you're just mining the earth for whatever you want to stock them in, whether making clothes, the computers, whatever it is, just the mine. That's what we all fighting over, not us, because everything belongs to us. So we have to always make that clear and like to clarify that. Everybody just took our thing and says their thing, but it's our thing. So we have to always classify that, put that in perspective first, so we can over that. So once that is set, then we can go forward. So, and that's what the show is all about, educating one, and at the same time for the youth, them to know that who they are, because we're still teaching the same ignorance in the school system, and for generation to generation, it seems like no way it seems to change. We as a people who is independent and proud of who we are still can't see certain things that we've been put in front of our face and not developed, and it trickling down to now our next cash crop again, which is cannabis. And it shows the way forward, looking for great investors who will come in and monopolize. It's the same thing we're going to see, whether it's sugar, whether it's once money there to be made in a capitalist world, the greed and the this and the that by any means necessary, and that is how the world is run, and it's run by corporate, not by politicians. The corporate world is who run the system. Okay, and once the youth them understand that, because no one still want to educate the youth on them. So if you're not going to educate the youth them in this perspective, well, how are they going to see things what it is? They got to understand and that capitalist world is about any means necessary, stepping over anybody to get where you want, rules inside there, So and remember, because we are talking about agriculture and our enslavement to our ancestors was about money, was about agriculture. That's what it's based upon, agriculture. You see what I mean? Because people have to eat, and it's end up into a business, and it was controlled, and nothing changed. You see what I mean? So you got your history start beyond the 15th and 16th century. Go back thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. So everything you're seeing in these times here is your reflection of who, but you're not really seeing it because your mind is really clear. So this ganja thing now, we're basing on today now. I see it as sugar. I see it as cotton. You see, because the worst thing you could think, is that, shackles there, but then up here, so everything is controlled. The mind. The mind. So what do you think? You have a PhD, you have a master, you have this. The mind. You see? So you lack inside your force. So I always speak and believe in my people and believe in developing of my own resource because we have plenty of money. So if we have plenty of money, or we have to beg people things, so we carry you beg a man something, A man wants something in return, you can nothing for free, And that's the problem I have with begging. You see, I have a concept that as a people and as a brilliant people, we have scholars like Sylvian Henry, great economists, you're telling me. You have people who are managing a young lady managing the Marriott Hotel. You have people now geniuses. Geniuses. We see everything around here. All them, the biggest building in Monia saw. The man that went in a school. So it means we have the greatest of architects. We have the greatest of farmers. We have the greatest of everything you can put in. You see what I mean? So every year we're supposed to send home. We got 20 doctors specialized in brain surgery. You got next 20 at train. You want 20 engineer when it come to building. You got next 20 at train. So you build nations. This Mickey Mouse thing that go on, you may not understand that. So this marijuana thing here, just like we're talking about food security, and we can do it, but you cannot convince me some other forces do not want it to happen. And that is just really, in ways we can have all these resources, and we still, I hear June and them talking about back in the 60s, they've been, but we still having the same conversation. You see, so nothing changes. That's just the reality. You might feel you're just nice, or whatever you get. Nothing changes because we're still singing the same song through the whole Caribbean islands, round and round and round, a chin bam. What you mean? Material things don't make you free. Until you control your own resources, economically, your own educational system, everything. And if you can't, so we're going to get serious and start basing it with cannabis, with ganja. And so we're going to control this niche market. Also, when we don't want no foreign investors, we're going to do it all 100%. Native person, you have to ban here. You're not ban here, you know, be a part of it. We can do it. Let the resources stay here. Nothing is wrong with that. Is something wrong with that? Well, who can disagree with this? Why you got to bring people out when we have how much money in the CBI? 100 billion? That's what it is, a dropping shot.
No, man.
You can't,
No,
well, me not even beg for nothing. You could come, the rest of man, where could do it with 100 million? I could do it plenty. I could hire all the youths and them and educate them and show them how to go to the herb and how to do this, how to farm, how to make money. And of course we can do that. So, I got to paint my skin and put a white suit or a different color suit or whatever to believe that and speak a different language? It's crap. You see what I mean? These are things, it's always see my people. And if we don't start to see these things this way, and just keep selecting people over and over in different ways, and then you hear the same thing over the radio, this and that. And if your people are not conscious within themselves, and really, we're not building our people, really, because this language will go outside, or bringing you on training. Well, waiting, we have all these scientists on the island. You have people like Stuart Laplace, you have all these, the Bureau of Standard, all these scientists around here. People, I just say we have a next young lady coming from Earth University studying science. Virgin, we have people running the outside world, running the whole outside world. Are you telling me? I mean, I'm not the brightest person. We don't want to be the brightest person neither. You see what I mean? But with just me, you, and your son, the amount of ideas we can come up with, it's unbelievable. And we don't start bringing others to the table as yet. Can we all have ideas? All I want is to control, start looking at, and this message go through the whole Caribbean where you have melanated people. Control your own resources. Wherever you got, somebody has to come and control it, Just check it out. And when I want to go beg, ask for grant, ask for this. When you look, you see how other faces coming in. Boom, the supermarket, Shadwell, Old Road, Sandy Point. Only Nevis, this not happening, Only Nevis, you know, see these stores popping up through the Caribbean, through the villages. We still get our indigenous, mom and pop stores, only Nevis or something different in the Sinket. But definitely Nevis than now in the town sector, and you see these things, yeah. But in the villages, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I know. I mean, it would be a shame. You see, so these are the things I'm talking about. Because I guarantee you can't go to a place and do these things, Guarantee you don't go, you can go down Chinatown and see you open up something down there. Or you go in a different area in the Bronx where you got the Italian, the Irish, the man. It's just the reality. You see, everybody control their own area. Everybody come in and we are the spenders.
But you got the Caribbean part of that too.
But with who?
You got the Caribbean part of New York.
Well, if you see most Caribbean part, you were waiting on well, the Jamaican Asians then. You understand? But
No, I went to a place and I see
but that's
some
weird.
I see some Guyanese and all.
But that's not. I mean, that's not even a scratch on the surface. I'm talking about reality. You see, I mean, that's minor.
No, but it was like be a Caribbean people in the region there, that part of Brooklyn there, for some reason.
You find a few. You understand? We talk a whole city block and all the thing there. That's something talk about.
No, that's why I'm telling you. It was like that.
Well, that is good.
Listen.
Yes.
When I went outside.
Yes.
And me porch is dancehall music and thing I hear, and I hear him talking like Caribbean talking all over. I swear I hear it's a Nevis in between.
Well, that is fine, but me thinking more holistic with everything. Your own school, your own hospital. You want everything. That just, you understand, just go ahead.
Well,
let me. We just talk about it.
What we're doing with what we have right now in the Caribbean.
With which one? Which one? Not?
In the Caribbean, we technically we own everything. For the most part, black people.
What you own? You started with education. What you own in that? Explain. Everything we know about my own history is self-taught.
Yeah, but
not in school.
At the same point in time.
No, I see what Alan's saying, Banky.
Yes.
He's saying at the end of the day, when you look at who's representing us,
yes.
People look like me and you, we control, you know what I mean? But it's just that.
So we feel the squeeze.
And then the same brilliant people who you talk about are still a product of the same system.
Yeah,
no, maybe we could do better.
But we feel the squeeze.
But we producing.
Well,
we got graduation and thing going on. Is them kind of season there, and we producing.
Me not say we not the learning part, but the learning part still is mentally is not. Listen, connected. Yes, that's what I mean.
And I know what you're saying,
of course,
because I got problems with certain
yes. That is key.
But I still feel like we're doing things, and even within the system what we got right now, we could do better.
There's always room for improvement, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not joining up the system, you know. You understand?
Banky, you got a small problem, right? You see, Alan.
Yes.
Alan is a guy that we need to have on the program a little bit more often, right? The thing is, his time is limited, right? Because he has his other program to go on.
Of course.
So I want him right now to kind of zoom back in and the cannabis part, because so that at least you could clarify a couple of things. Because he come with the conscience part, you know, right? Go back over, read over that again so that the public can follow that, and we can have a little discussion around that part.
And I'm gonna put in a little subtitle so you can understand, because I know it's legal jargon, so I can kind of little subtitle it. So it says, an act to facilitate the personal cultivation, and that means basically we're providing something for the personal growing you have, personal cultivation by adults of cannabis. So if you're an adult, this is what it be supposed to be governing you. For use, for private use in a secured area within a private residence. This almost sounds like you can't go outside on your veranda. It almost sounds so.
You see, this is what, if it's one thing.
I don't even want to laugh, but I could not help it.
You know, when it comes to this issue, right? Anybody who would have been following me over the years, even before they put this thing in the house, even from way back when NRP was trying to push this agenda and so on, right? You would realize that me and the premier used to always have a lot of back and forth, even on social media where this cannabis issue is concerned, right? But if it's one thing I agree with him in more recent times, is the point where he keeps saying that they're just going in and making these baby steps and making these little changes here and there. Why not free it up just like you were going? So if it's one thing I would agree with him on, right, is in that sense. Because I think a lot of all of these little things, this is what part of what is keeping the people all confused, because, you know, you as somebody who is not even in there, having to come now to explain to the masses, because you're using your legal mind to be able to, and knowledge, to be able to help us clarify some of these things. But it's them who are supposed to come to the public and make these things known so that we are clarified. But seemingly they don't want to. They're forced to, and then they're trying to do it in a way now that they know are the beneficiaries, and some of the other people, the average people, me and you, get squeezed out if we are not aware of some of what is going on. So I guess that is where I stand, and that is why I'm really grateful for the time that you're giving us right now to seek to clarify some of these things.
Well, I will be fair and say that they do have the debates, but it's also for people to tune in to the debates, because during the debates you could get to hear who have what point and why they might be trying to push it in a particular angle. So and to their credit also, I think the debates are online on YouTube and other social media places. So I feel like it's also for people to tune into these type of things. So you don't have to listen to all. I would really like if they could find a system whereby they could let you know, hey, we're gonna be discussing this between this and that time. But I know it can't be perfect like so.
Of course, I got you.
So, but it, I think they even might have a kind of thing whereby they break it up. Hopefully they did that for this, so like you could go back and you could hear their particular arguments about it.
You're talking about in the house.
Yeah.
You see, this herb thing is very taboo, and we gotta understand this is still taboo, you know. So even
Well,
when we went here speaking about as if like for us it's like nothing, but for some people it's just like is the holy grail. Means that this is crazy. I mean, these people mad. Yeah, people still the community is still in power. Some people, I'm not saying everyone, but a large percent is still in power now. Yeah,
I feel like that is why it is
see?
important for people to travel. I mean, like even like throughout the Caribbean.
Yeah,
I'm not even telling you to go to like
Of course.
America or something. I'm telling you like it's good to like take in and really see.
Of course.
The first time I went downtown in Jamaica, I had a shock.
Yes.
I couldn't believe what was taking place.
Explain.
The amount of smoke I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And which downtown that was? Downtown, the poor people downtown, and that's not the uptown. That's a different area where you call Jamaica two town, you know. From what I understand, downtown is a local town.
Okay, well, I could tell you two different experiences.
Yes.
Halfway through is even more lively than the real like New Kingston.
Okay.
But when I went New Kingston,
Yes.
and I went in the courthouse,
Yes.
I was smelling weed in the courthouse, and they got prison in the courthouse.
I think the culture in Jamaica is a lot different to a lot of other places. Because Jamaica been brand and advertising for having the best ganja for nearly 100 years. You see what I mean? That's a brand.
I feel you.
That's a brand. Jamaica. So despite the way it's just they've been branded for that for a long for.
Go crop over.
Yes.
Go Dominica right
Of
now.
course.
Man, I'm telling you.
Well, you see, as you say, and this, so what goes on here is the same thing goes on in other islands, but then here we seem to be more in the conservative way that these things is like, everybody gonna die then? Is like a third wave coming and like people getting the kind of history?
I feel like the politicians need to get somebody on board who know what they're talking about.
Yeah, but you know you talk about, yes, you know you talk about, and others who come on this you know you talk about. So as we talk about in the PRO.
But what I'm saying is, they wouldn't like maybe got a sidebar with me and you.
Yes, but so
who is the me and you and the commission who talking actually?
So
and
they want their own people. They want people. They want different people. They want their own people. Then
Yeah.
when you see the board come out, tell me who on the board.
Yes, so what I'm saying, so the church when they go to church on Saturdays or Sundays, they can speak about the good use of the cannabis and you can use for all those.
No, that's not the church
who will do that,
agenda. We're not gonna put that.
Who will
on
do
the-
that?
Okay, yeah, son, you're
Being
telling
put up on
me
the church.
you have people in the church you're preaching to. You're coming to the church. Sister Tyson, Sister Daniel having pain, arthritis pain, and the cannabis oil can use, and you understand, and get the pain.
Which preacher man is think
But yes, but what is wrong with this? If we're educating people, this is how the language have to go.
Something is wrong with it.
Well, that's how the language have to go, yes, son. You need everybody. You
You're
need
being
all.
practical, Banky.
And what? I'm being practical. This is normal, yes. So I mean, I'm being practical. This is practical.
No, it's normal, but who in think it's right now at the stage that you see the re-education is necessary.
If you're telling me in these terms here, so what's the purpose of a preacher man who in charge of the who is just about how the term help me? who they have to go and get permission to get the ganja from, the license from?
Evangelical Association.
Good. So if they have to issue the license, why can't they speak about it in the church and the platform when people in there suffering might have cancer, might have this, and you have this. This don't comprehend, right? Does this? This not so normal.
No, the preacher gonna got to be moved to deliver that particular song.
So you tell me in the schools, you tell me the teachers them can't speak on behalf of all these things. When you go out, I don't get it.
It's going to be necessary. It's going to be necessary because just like how when it was prohibited and they went out and they used to bring DA in the school and tell the children, oh, cannabis is bad and bring pictures of cannabis and bring any plant and show them how bad it is. They're gonna have to now come back in the school and re-educate the youths and re-educate the teachers and everybody that this is a medicinal plant or it's a herb that is, widely accepted in society and so on. And, they might be telling them not to use it at their age, but they can't continue with those negative trends and so on. So these are some of the things that are going, like, as we might not really see that like that, but these are some of the real things that's going to have to take place.
If you're not going to take this approach, it means we're going to still always have this big, even though, yes, they may be making money off of it because of whatever is there and investors. Yes, big education is always key,
But Banky, it is because of this lack of education and making that conscious effort to do this. Realize it's only me and you right now making that conscious effort in the federation to actually have a program on the specific topic, There's no other radio program, no other public media outlet that has anything that is specific to deal with cannabis. We do it the last week in every month, the last Tuesday in every month, but we're the only persons who do that. So what we are saying is they need that out in the public from the government side, the commission side, or whatever they have, committee side, or whatever they have, so that they can also engage the public and so the public can be more clear on a lot of these issues. So as you were saying, Alan, I'm being fair, yes, I know that they do say these things in the House of Assembly and so on, but we also know that majority of our people don't really study with the House of Assembly or don't listen to the House of Assembly, right? I mean, they should, because it's their business, but at the same time, that is why still, even if they're going to do something in the community, they don't just pass it in the House, they actually go on and supposed to have town hall and consultation with the people and so on. So it is always supposed to be like that. Whatever you're doing, come to the people. So that is just my position where I think.
Alan, this is the question. What is the feedback when it comes to the use of cannabis and from what the age group between, say, 18 to 30, 35, the youths and them? What is the feedback within the federation when it comes to that?
Remember, everything always remix.
Of course.
Everything always
of course, definitely.
We're still a strong Christian society. But there is tolerance. There is heavy tolerance.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, really and truly, nobody trying to be disrespectful or nothing. And it's not like I have not heard any instances of anybody being forced. Like I can blow smoke in your face and you got to stop here and take it.
You
know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and I think that that's why the effort is being made on the part of the authority. That is part of why the effort is being made.
Okay, so let me put it over this way again then. We have you saw this is Carnival coming up. We have a lot of fetes throughout the whole year. Fete never, almost every month, every other month, a fete but action. So we have a high alcohol consumption. Don't know how much end up in the hospital and and all this different stuff that you don't end up in the news. But comparison, is it basically the same when it comes to the use of cannabis as within the same age group? Or the alcohol use is way more, which should be more worried about?
I would say once again a mix. He got some people, he got people who ponder drinking, he got people who ponder smoking, he got people who do both. Everything mixed. He got people who don't do nothing to have.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to hear, if, like from the hospital, like where they have come in a week, like when they have activities, the kind of cases that have coming into the emergency with alcohol consumption, you know what I mean, cannabis or whatever it is, which is where we should be really more concerned about. Not saying not concerned about both. You know, whatever. I'm just like to have at least statistics are kept. So
I feel like really and truly over arguing about them thing that I feel like the better thing is if people who advocate for cannabis are successful, then the movement gonna get stronger.
I got you.
Overall. I think even to where we have reached right now is because people
agitating, of course,
have been but like little things like even the artists and them over the years who have been successful, but who openly use cannabis and different people.
Yes,
I think that because they have been successful and they're still down to earth, and that it has opened the realms for people.
Yeah, but remember, everybody who listening to my voice knows someone who use herb, and you could never have just best person ever. You know what I mean? Upstanding. So, as I said, everything is politics. You see what I mean? Everything is politics, and politics is everything. Where it is, because it's all about money all the time. Money, and a control of the money and all that. And so, but how, as the young people, and after that the discussion, would like to see the cannabis industry develop from your perspective? How they would like to see it controlled, or it doesn't matter if people come in? Do they have do they speak about all these things, investing? How they see it?
Me not gonna speak for all the young people.
Of course you can't.
Me only gonna speak for me.
Yes, of course.
Cause I'm hopeful for how they could do it. Yes. But I feel like the overall problem is gonna be capitalization.
Okay.
You understand? So unless, and I say all the time, unless there is some kind of effort to come together, if you don't decide to come together on your own, you will come together to work for whoever. Business. You understand? So, so it's either they're going to volunteer and they're going to come forward and they're going to say, bye, we're going to work together to make this thing as big as possible, and you're going to get the ownership we're talking about and them type of things there. I feel like no one person going to be able to do it. No care what
networking.
Because even if you're good at planting this thing,
of course.
You might know about sales.
Of course, marketing and all that. Of course, I got you.
You understand?
Of course.
Really and truly, if there is a collective thing,
of course,
then it's gonna be a bigger pie.
Yes.
Then it's gonna got other spin-offs who are gonna be bigger, and other ventures where it could go and otherwise. But unless there is that collectivity.
I'm with you.
So
of course.
I feel like overall that's
what
needs to happen.
Because this is why when we speak like this, you bring 10 architects. It's a collectiveness. That's how these things work.
But ultimately, all of these people, what they keep on going and amending.
Yes.
You're gonna have to get to the point where herb is herb, and we're doing what we're doing. You understand?
Yeah, but these people that can't sleep at night time, don't know which way to go. This is the hardest thing they could come up with.
Alan, quick question. On the ground, right? You're on the ground and St. Kitts and Nevis, right? What's the feedback? Now they've made these changes, and what's the feel in terms of cannabis? Is it still the same, like man being harassed, police still stopping man, searching man, or skinning out man for cannabis? You know, what's the change in terms of that? How is that playing out?
Well, I can't tell you that I've been downtown on a Friday recently, so I can't tell you about that. The last time I saw the police driving with some trees in their van was maybe 2 months ago. I don't know if they've been on any raids since that time. I don't think anything happened recently.
I ain't really hear no complaints in a sense like that and stuff like that.
Recall.
So I guess you're more kind of leeway being established. I ain't really hear nobody complaining and stuff like that. Which means they've been harassed. Yes, but Alan, really thanks for coming in and
Yeah.
giving some advice. But definitely, we look forward to continue the discussion. Maybe the end of the month, so
All right.
going out with you understand, and probably get out some nice buds, Christmas tree buds on the table, and stuff. You understand? Go to the bank, so put
Yeah,
out some
Alan.
lights on it.
Alan,
All right, later.
it's good to have him, and I hope you could get him to Banky. I hope to get him to come back because I know he have his show. The kind of thing is, it's kind of tight for him because he has his show also on a Tuesday night. So if we could squeeze him in a couple of other times, that would be great. But it was an honor to have him.
Yes.
I'm sure the public would have benefited from his discussion and his um, delving into some of the topics. And I must say, as a young lawyer in the Federation, I am very much impressed with him and the fact that he's, willing to come to the public and face the public and, address social issues and comment on, things that if people might consider controversial and very reachable and so on. I love that. A lot
Okay.
more young lawyers, I think, in the Federation, should, seek to bring themselves in the public to that level.
All right. Yes. So now we're gonna take a break and bring in a next guest for the next 15 minutes, and then we're gonna continue discussion. And we Alan left off, so we have
No problem.
nature's best in the house. So give me a minute right there. We come back.
No problem.
You ain't playing here? What's going on here? Yeah, son, you there?
Yeah, still here.
Ah,
But I see the thing on the screen, but I'm not hearing anything.
yeah, trying to
So
press by in that clicking. I know going on.
in modern technology, we're going sometimes,
All right.
they don't
In the
function the way they should.
okay, continue talk. I'll just organize the guests while you got. Will continue talk? Can go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's very interesting um topic and something that we definitely. I think Alan, as a young lawyer, I guess next time when you come back, I would ask you. I think some of our young lawyers should take up some pro bono cases and so on and seek to not just necessarily wait until they're called to be hired and so on. I think we need to see a lot more of them. There's a lot of young lawyers around, and I find sometimes um, many sit and wait until they get a job working for a firm. But I think sometimes you could put yourself in that position and you know Nevis is a small place, yes, and I know a lot of our people sometimes love to critique and criticize and so on, but time for us, the younger generation need to be able to step out of that and step up and move on out. And so I give thanks when I see the youth, who look forward to doing that and put themselves in the public sphere to represent themselves. So we look forward to coming back with that topic and everything agriculture. Is just a little follow-up from last week's edition where we focused the last week in every month and the last Tuesday in the month. We focus on cannabis. That's the topic that we focus on everything agriculture. And we had the um, CEO of the Cannabis Commission with us last week, and based on the discussions, we opted to invite Alan Powell in, and Alan would have just given us, we looked at the bills that were passed in the House and sort of, commented on them and got into some other discussions. And as you can see, for those who are following us on the Facebook page, you can see Banky is setting up for our next two guests who were here a couple of weeks before. and I'm sure they're just getting set for their trip to St. Martin, where they should be engaged in a Caribbean function, a regional function, which highlights and showcase many of our agripreneurs, as we consider them today, agripreneurs, not just entrepreneurs, but agripreneurs. This is a couple based on Nevis, presently creating a number of value-added products, which is something that I support fully. I think it's the key to us moving forward and being really competitive in the agricultural industry. And so they are preparing to venture to St. Martin, where they'll be meeting up with a number of other vendors from all over the region, and they are gonna be representing St. Kitts and Nevis. So, we talk about our artists and so on as ambassadors for St. Kitts and Nevis, but right now, agriculture and myself, I presently have given myself, I've appointed myself as the ambassador, the global agricultural ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis, as there is no agricultural ambassador. These are things, you have ambassador for education, you have ambassador for all kind of different things in the government, but you don't have any, agricultural ambassador, anybody out there really pushing agriculture. So at this point, these folks are the folks who are some of our ambassadors at present, because we have not just great farmers, but we have great folks who are now producing a lot of value-added products and presenting them to the globe and putting St. Kitts and Nevis on the map in a positive way. So let's welcome again our Everything Agriculture crew.
Yes, Nature's best. Yes. Good evening, and sorry for the little technical difficulty. Was get our second our guest. Organized, Mrs. and Mr. Morton. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. We're doing well. We're a bit tired, but you know how it is.
Tired is good. I mean, you've been working, and when you're working for yourself, you have to work a million times, put in more work. I don't like to use the word hard. It's just work. You must exert effort. Mm-hmm. So we need to get away with this terminology, work, these kind of nonsense, or work hard, and no, it's just work. Yeah. Even if you have to think, you have to use energy. You must exert. So this thing about working hard, I don't get it. Yes, you're here again for a few minutes just to talk about some new products. You come up with it again. I mean, this will be a product 200. For those who don't know Nature's Best, I mean, how long have you been established? Just a quick overview, just an update, and you're gonna go overseas on a expedition to take part in St. Martin and stuff like that. So you have some more products to come up with. So introduce yourself for the first time listeners.
Well, we're Nature's Best. We're a natural skin hair and wellness brand based right here on the island of Nevis in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. We saw that there's a need to expand the scope of productivity. It's not just the things that we eat. We consume a wide range of goods in various forms. So tonight, right here, we're only in the studios for a few minutes, so we're gonna get right into it. We have a few new products. I'm not saying that this is all that we have. The last time I was here, I spoke about one new product. I know the people at I&M Events and Experience, they're excited about what we are going to be doing and things that we've made. Recently, we posted this product here. It is an oil, and I'm sure you're seeing some sort of some petals.
Yes,
those are rose petals.
Okay,
this is a very, very special oil. This is the Excite oil.
Excite oil. Okay. And when you say excite, just make you laugh, giggly. What is that? Make your gay. The British word make you happy. Make you. You say excite. When you're excited, you laugh.
We'll have to put a little break span it there.
Okay. All right.
The car must stop. No, the Excite oil, it doesn't make you laugh a lot, but I
Yes.
think it would put a smile on the user's face.
Okay.
Maybe
I like
one
that.
that is very difficult
like
to
that.
come
I think
off.
Yasin don't get that, you know.
I think, as I said, I
No,
think
but
it's
you
going
see,
to be very difficult.
as
So
a
any
teacher, right,
so you have any
I
testimonies
remember
by the
things,
from the
so
Excite oil? Any testimonies?
I remember from the last program
Yes.
that he mentioned that he has the male counterpart and he was about to create the female counterpart. So,
Which
my
is
memory
this?
is working good.
But
I'm
Just a
thinking,
part
But
of
my
it.
wait.
memory is
That's the
working good.
thing, you know. That's the thing. Yasun, the female counterpart, that is not on the show tonight. That one you would
okay.
only be able to see in St. Martin.
So this one is what, a male again?
No.
Anybody?
We have two products with the same name. We have Excite the tonic,
Yes.
which is the female counterpart to 9 furlong.
Yes.
And we have Excite the sensual oil.
So
this is the essential
The
oil.
sensual oil can be used both by male and female.
Okay, I got you.
Oh, okay. That's the unisex version then.
Yes.
I'm asking you, any reviews? What are the reviews?
It's a new product. I only completed it
So-
this
so-
afternoon.
Yeah, but
If you
you
notice,
test it?
if you notice,
So you test that? Oh, wait.
if you notice, the rose petals are still floating on the top, which means it is freshly done.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
Yeah,
I mean,
you want to hear the
no,
testimonial.
but when they're doing a product,
Banky,
yes.
No, I see you want to put me people them on the spot here. You know. Listen, what they have done for you is giving you the opportunity to get first.
Me?
First. So nobody else. Anything about it before
But you know, see,
Let's
it's
give
everything
you.
agriculture. We come with the thing one time.
Yes, sir, and you have to understand. Me ask for a natural boss, you know. Me ask for a natural boss, you know. Me ask carrying us all the time.
No. First heard about
Yes.
on
Of course, I got
everything
you.
agriculture.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what we got. We get the exclusive.
Definitely.
That's what it is. Exclusive. One time.
Well, I'm sure those who listening is excited to hear all these different products and stuff like that when it come to for those who need extra stimulant here and there, and to just do what is needed to keep the heart pumping. So
But that isn't the only product. We also have a new lotion. As you can see, the products that we have here, there's no label.
yes.
The labels will
Yes.
be revealed at Deals Mania.
Okay.
So we are just introducing
Yes.
the product. You could see a part of the packaging, but the actual labeling.
So the
will
product
be ready.
so the product is what?
This is called Splendor. It's a lotion.
Okay.
Remember, last time we were here, you tried
A bluish
Smooth
one.
Ocean.
A blue, yes, nice.
You could try this one and see how that one feels.
You see, you're using the real tester, because these are working hands, huh? These are in hands when you feel some male hands, you feel like you're feeling female's hand. You're frightened when I touch my hand and the hand feels soft, I get frightened, you know. I wonder what the hell going on here. Yeah, I don't like the... When I feel like my hand soft, I don't trust the person at all. Yeah, there's something wrong with the hand there. So my hand go there softer than the woman's hand. Now, this is nice. I mean, it's nice. I mean... It's moisturized.
What are you smelling? What are you smelling?
You have things that tingle the eyes, so which means you're having something like mints, different mints and stuff like that. Any tingle when you come to when you start to smell stuff. But you have it's almost those this is high quality. Yeah? It's like the bath and body stuff. You know what I mean? Those natural stuff. I mean stuff that are made here locally from our local people into like Nature's Best and Anastasia and all the rest who do these things. You know what I mean? Do a great job. I mean, as I said, their stuff should be in one those kind of that have all a whole complementary of all the different stuff that make around here. You will get their brand, all different brands in a one place like that. You see what I mean? Because it's too much talent when they are under one roof. So you're going to come buy stuff from your stuff. You see what I mean? That is what I'd like to see. Like when you're going to other place overseas, have all these different brands under one roof. That is something I'd love to see happen here, which I think is something good. We really got to push our people. Even when you have those stuff, like when you have all these schools both coming here, you your people are supposed to be right up by the cruise boat when they dock, right up front, not in the back. You see what I mean? And we tend to push our people back. So these products here should, when you could, right up in front, you have the steel panel play and have a thing set up. You're right there. Them are the first people to make your local arts and stuff. But we tend to push them far back. You have to walk a mile, walk around this dungeon place. Nobody find you. Put them right up front. That's what you sell the people. You see what I mean? You put music there up front and some steel pan, but then nothing. You come out, put the people right up front. The same, we set up things nice. But we don't think like that, and that's why we push your own. You bring them, lead them right there. They come, they spend them. You force them there. That's what you force them in the area. You guide them straight to there.
Well, apart from forcing them, that's what you should be doing, showcasing your products and your culture and so
Yes.
on, and all of that would be a part of helping to add foreign exchange. Because remember, when they're coming off the cruise ship, they're going to be spending US dollars or pounds or whatever it is
Of
that
course.
they have. So it's just like I'm saying, it's a lack of those kind of planning and thinking along agriculture that is really needed. And then now with people like Mr. and Mrs. Morton here and their product development is going to truly demonstrate, and that is why I always talk about the value added products and focusing on that. And events like what they're going to be attending in St. Martin should be things that we start to pay more attention to, and then eventually seek to have some follow-up so that we could bring that group now to St. Kitts and Nevis and things like that. So these, and get government support or tourism support and get these kind of support to help promote these things. It have to be a holistic approach, when we really look at that, if you're serious about our agricultural development.
Yes.
Because all of that tie into agriculture, even though there may be more on the manufacturing side,
Of course.
it is still agriculture, because
Yes.
the raw materials are agricultural materials. And
Definitely.
so that is just how we have to look at it.
Yes. So you have the lotion and the oil and anything. How much more?
Yes.
What have? 5 products?
We have 1, 2. That's only 4. But
4
as I
products you
said,
have there.
that's not all.
Okay.
That's
And the
not
next
all.
2?
And to add to the lotion, it's made with corilla and hibiscus, all local.
Nice.
And you know that blend combination helps to protect the skin against UV rays and so on, and especially those with extra sensitive skin.
Nice.
Arilla, bitter melon, lizard.
Yes.
Mhm.
Of
Yes.
course. Yes. Next product.
All right, we have a beard balm. So we know there are persons that are very much interested in taking care of
The beard.
their beard.
Okay.
Yes, so we are trying to take care of
The beard.
the beard. Yes.
All right.
So we are taking care of men in a
Beard.
different way.
Beautiful.
Right now we are focusing on a few products.
So what
that
is
are
special
very
about
specific.
the beard and the hair on your head with this product? What's so special? Explain this one here. Can you say the beard is here? So you can do your beard here and the hair on your head to use the same product. Explain it. You say it's especially for beard, right?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Well, as we know, the skin on your face and the skin, your scalp, they are different. The texture, the sensitivity, the pH, all of that, they are different. So there are certain things that you can put in your hair, but you cannot put on your face, right? So the beard balm, well, actually we have a lot of how do you call it? Persons been asking because
Yes.
we have an aftershave and we have a beard oil.
Okay.
So persons been requesting the beard balm because the beard oil goes in the roots, but the
Yes.
balm basically to help to tame and moisturize the actual beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hair follicles.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that's the and next.
All right. And the other product would be the body wash.
A body wash.
So you've seen many soaps
Yes.
from Nature's Best.
Yes, but not a body wash.
This is the first body wash.
Beautiful. And the name of the body wash?
Glow Vitalize.
Glow Vitalize. Any ingredients you want to talk about?
The main ingredient in there is turmeric.
Turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Interest. Well, I mean, it will be good. I use soap with turmeric and different stuff. You see what I mean? So just turmeric alone and anything else?
This is the main one.
The
The
main,
main
of
one,
course,
the main,
of course,
the
of
main,
course.
the main.
But any other additive, like people
Yeah.
listening, like what?
Well, basically, our body wash was made from scratch.
Yes.
You know, there are persons who make body wash using surfactants and all of that. But our body wash was made from scratch. So I make actual liquid soap
Yes.
and then turn it into the body wash.
Okay. So anyone who tried this body wash, how would be the lather the sort how
Very soothing.
okay.
Similarly to solid soaps.
Scent sell the put I want the and actually this scent and stuff
This
like
is the product. Just open it and
Yes.
take a whiff.
any mint in there?
We have sweet orange.
Sweet what?
Sweet orange.
Can have good senses, eh? So just want you all to know that, okay? I got very, very good senses.
Yes.
Always does.
Sweet orange,
Okay.
and we also have honey and oats in there as well.
Okay. Well, these are things I want. That's why I want to get out to you to say. Can you slap on the label so when people hear oats and different stuff, well, this is a nice product, okay? And that's why I asked what else is in there. So that is good. So oats, honey, and turmeric.
Yes.
That's a good combination right there. So that's a good product. So I'm glad to hear about that one. So these are 4 added products will be at
Deals Mania.
and
We're basically introducing them officially at Deals Mania.
so when will be the event again for those who listen?
Sunday coming, the 10th of December.
This Sunday.
Yes.
You'll be heading over to St. Martin.
Yes, we are.
Along with almost 30 other vendors from around the Caribbean.
Around the
Yes.
Caribbean, yes.
And this is the first time it's happening.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful, so must commend the young lady and her partner who is
INM TV Plus
yes, so
And INM Media.
yes,
and
definitely.
experiences.
It's a beautiful thing. I must commend them for taking this initiative. And you are the only one leaving from Nevis going, or anybody else?
I think Shabina.
Oh, Shabana going too?
Yes.
And anyone from St. Kitts?
Yes, we have a few
Yes,
persons.
I
from
think it
St.
is
Kitts.
4 persons from St.
So St. Kitts Nevis representing big time.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. of
4 people,
course.
that's good. I must commend all those who going down there and taking part of it, and hope and everything will go well. Yeah, and the turnout, I mean, everyone come out and support from St. Martin. I hope people from the neighboring islands also travel and people also from here. If there's a ferry going, how y'all getting there?
The
Plane?
ferry.
Makana leaves.
Okay, so people also will go down on the same trip then. Okay. So are you all excited going down? I mean, the days is winding down. So how you all feel about it?
Of course.
Of course,
Excited
there's some
to, you know, new
Yeah.
experience, new venture,
Yes.
meet new people,
Of course.
you know.
Yes.
And
A
how
lot
you
of
call
people
it?
excited about excite.
So it's for one day.
Yes, it's a one
Just
day.
one
one
event.
day and what? The Saturday and Sunday.
The Sunday.
So Sunday. All right, nice. So any last words you wanna give before you leave? I mean, to those who are listening and
Well,
people in
not
St. Martin?
forgetting our mosquito repellent. You know, the dengue is around, and
Yes.
you need to protect yourself from that mosquito
Okay.
bite. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
So Nature's Best have a nice mosquito repellent, and it smells nice too.
Yes.
So
Okay.
helps to protect the skin, protect you from the bites for a few hours. You wouldn't
Nice.
even know if mosquito buzzing around you, but yes.
Beautiful.
So,
Yes.
anyone listening, whether you're in St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, even if you're in Cuba, Russia, doesn't matter. Find yourself in St. Martin this coming Sunday for Deals Mania and ask for vendor number 7.
Number
first.
9.
Oh, my apologies. Vendor number 9.
Number 9.
You can ask for number 7, but make sure you come and see number 9.
Who is
But
number
then
7?
again,
You don't remember.
But then again, come and support
Yes,
all
that's
of the
the whole-
vendors.
that's-
You know,
that's the whole point.
Definitely.
it's from 1 to about 35, I believe.
Wow.
So, ensure that you stop at every single vendor's booth.
Beautiful.
Every vendor.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Morton, I greatly appreciate you guys coming by. I mean, giving an update. Yes, on any question before Mr. and Mrs. Morton exit?
Well, no, I'm just really looking forward to the feedback after coming back. I hope they, take a lot of pictures and videos and,
Yes.
all that, and, be able to come back and give us some good stories. And I really pray that they could sell off everything that they take down there, so that we could have that true reflection and, their brand could spread its wings, and all of that would expand, agriculture, help to put our name out there, So anything along that line, positive, I just pray that you all are successful on that move.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
I appreciate it. Yason will take a break. We'll exit Mr. Morton. See if this thing making thing again. Now it works. So control the mic for me, Yason.
Okay, yeah, and Mr. and Mrs. Morton, we look forward to, probably making some nice moves in the future, because eventually maybe folks might want your product over here in this part of the globe, and so I mean, we can probably work on something like that in the future. So folks, just keep listening. You just might hear something that you might be able to get, some of these things that you're hearing about on the program direct. So yes, and like I said, full joy, have a wonderful time, and come back empty. Carry full up the boat and come back empty. Okay, yeah, people. Well, we have a little bit of technical difficulty, and so Banky is gonna let out the guests, and I guess I'll keep you busy talking in the meantime. Now, so let me look at in the meantime, probably respond to those folks on the page. Brenda Lee Williams, good evening, Banky and host. Evan Jeffers, good night all. Tillyman, inviting in Tillyman and Jetty and Shamik and some others. Mona Davis says, good night, everyone. And then you have Gwen Williams saying good night to the Everything Agriculture host and guests. Blessings all. We have Eugene Hanley saying good evening from South Texas. So we got South Texas in the house. Jetty Taylor. Good night, young lawyer. I guess you're messing with Alan. On the show, Alan, give Banky credit. You are launch your internet career. Don't forget where you start. Yeah. Joy King, Jetty Taylor, Oppression 2. Okay. Jetty Taylor said also Indians in America can still smoke peyote because they use it for religious ceremony. Any other citizen in America can smoke peyote. Rastafarians should be exempt from enforcement. I totally agree with that position. Peyote is a hallucinogen. I found this out when I was in the military. American Indians are afforded that right to use that. And I stand for that too. I think that's part of some of what the AG is seeking to do, in terms of they're seeking to make certain provisions for Rastafari. I need to really go back through some of what they have done so far and see how much we can seek to update the masses where that is concerned. Jetty Taylor again says, look right in front of your Banky. Alan at the future premier you talk to. Even if Nivisions are in charge, they will be the front man backed by a money man, a call the shots. Well, I mean, most of the time, sometimes that's the scenario. But, if we really seek to come together and, really think about farming corporations and committees, like Alan was, and companies, sorry, we could, do better where that is concerned. Just go to Puerto Rico and a Santos and Luosa. Okay, and then who else we have inside here? Ines Phipps, Banky, what's up? Big up yourself.
Good evening, Ines.
Ball J. Jones.
And give
Ines
thanks
Phipps,
for the package. Greatly appreciated.
Ball J. Jones, Ball BJ Jones, are these the same couple that went to St. Martin before, and can they give a feedback as to the outcome? Well, actually, Ball J, they have not gone to St. Martin yet. They're going to be going on Sunday. So they just came to introduce a few products to us before they made that trip. So I as you would have heard, I just asked them to do that when they come back, to make sure that they report to us and, send some videos and pictures and so on, and give us a feedback on how things went. And I really pray that they are successful, because, and not just them, but also all the others who are representing from St. Kitts and Nevis, because I'm hoping also that those who are in authority would also recognize that these people are agricultural ambassadors, just like how you have the artists, the reggae artists and the calypsonians and the bands and so on, who they're deemed as ambassadors. These people are ambassadors in their own right. And this, and people like Emontine again, who would take part in the agricultural competition in St. Croix and would have been successful over the years.
Over
You know,
12
so
times,
agriculture does
more
not
12 or
necessarily
13
get that kind
times.
of recognition.
She have won over 12 or 13 times representing St. Kitts
Yeah,
Nevis.
man, we don't get that kind of recognition, and just as how you could recognize the artists, the reggae artists, the Byron Messiahs and the others and so on, who yes, in their rights as well. I'm not trying to discredit that they are actually being, you know, true ambassadors for St. Kitts and Nevis, because they do a lot more than the politicians, because people know more about them than the politicians. But just like I am seeing that, likewise, people like Mrs. Morton and all these other folks who are making these value-added products and are putting our name, because when these products reach, whether it's St. Martin, England, America, wherever they reach, wherever territory that is, they would be seeing that this is a product of St. Kitts and Nevis. So they're getting that recognition. And like I usually joke around with I shouldn't say joke around, but saying that I'm self-appointed agricultural ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis. I think it is high time that we do have an agricultural ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis. We have ambassadors for all kind of other things. I think agriculture need to get that kind of recognition. Speaking about that and recognition, Banky, have they had the federal budget as yet, or is just the Nevis budget that has gone?
I think the federal budget is next week, sometime next week, no?
Next week? Well, I'm looking forward to hear.
So it's a Nevis budget went already?
They would have read the budget earlier on today. Today would have been the first day. I think they're supposed to come back tomorrow to.
Okay, so when we're talking about budget and agriculture, we could talk about the 2025 and just mix up this cook up part with the cannabis and 2025 agenda for the next half hour and see. So what was the budget? Any number covered for Nevis budget? What, 50 million, 75 million? What was the budget look like for Nevis, for agriculture?
You really
What?
like me, was hoping that you could have seen something anyway, even close to them kind of figures there. But the figures that I'm hearing, it was 19 point something, $19 point something million. And when I heard that,
And last year was how much?
I'm not sure. That's the thing. I'm not certain what it was last year, but and that would be good to have a comparison to see if they're really serious about agriculture. But I am, based on the fact that we are paying over $200 million in imports. If you're gonna even balance out St. Kitts and Nevis, I would say, like, even if they wanted to balance it out, I don't think we should be seeing less than $50 million for agriculture and Nevis, and then the budget in St. Kitts probably maybe another 100 or 150 where agriculture is concerned. If we are serious about seriously making any dent into the 2025 issue and really seriously reducing our import bills on St. Kitts and Nevis, that is where it starts for me. And I have been anticipating this, and I'm anticipating the St. Kitts and Nevis federal budget to see what is reflected, because you could have all these fancy talk about agriculture and all these things that you're doing, and you hear from the ministerial side that they're going to do this and they promise to do that and they plan to do this and they plan to do that. But if it is not reflected in the budget, then that is where we can start to see signs of not being serious. And so that is my position. And so if based on the figures that you just quoted there, 75 and 50 and so on, because it's what, from the standpoint where you are at and where I am at, in terms of seeing and knowing what is needed for agricultural development, and see how far short of that. 3-4 times, you need 3-4 times below what you really anticipated. And so I don't know. So yes, Ball J. Jones. That's the number that I heard earlier on today. 19 point something million. For those who are listening out there, I don't know. If somebody could help us with the figures from the last budget, that would be interesting to get a comparison. But I really didn't think of that to do that bit of research before this program. But probably I would be able to get that bit of information for the next show. But these are the kind of things that I'm really, really, you know, curious about, and I don't know if the people who are out there listening would want to weigh in and their thoughts on some of these things in terms of the seriousness where food security is concerned.
Yeah, well, 2025 agenda, as you say, I mean, is you're trying to get on the food bill by $50 million, but think it's a navy. So we still really have a clear rollout plan when it comes to, well, the way forward, more or less, because it's having a little. You hear much from navies, and in a sense, you hear more talking on the sink its end, and it's the same thing about the cannabis too. You're really hearing nothing from the Minister of Agriculture, like you'll hear from the sink it end, they're talking about the cannabis and stuff like that. So I still don't understand if why navies is not even talk about it when it comes to the cannabis industry and stuff like that. I mean,
and I found that interesting too.
Yes, I don't understand it.
Even in the house today, I thought we would have heard something, as to say, well, okay, in the budget we're looking at, introducing something or doing something, because this is an area of revenue generation, and we are seeing that the Nevis is in a debt situation, a serious debt situation. One of the things that I would have heard in the house today, the push is to tighten up on the taxpayers, encouraging you to pay your water bills on time and all these things, and putting in place mechanisms to ensure that revenue collection. That is basically what the focus was on. But like I said, I was really looking forward to a bigger figure for agriculture. And I would love to get the explanations. I would like to hear how the opposition would respond to that, and if that is something that the opposition would put into their presentation, because I don't think the opposition got a chance to make any presentation based on the budget. I think that would be probably in tomorrow's session. I would like to hear if that is something that is challenged. A question in regards to the amounts that is allocated for agriculture, and also anything in regards to the cannabis rollout. And he said these are the kind of things I'm talking about, Banky, because here is it that they went in the house and they made that change that now cannabis is not under the Prime Minister anymore. It's now under the Minister of Agriculture, the Ministry of Agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
And the Minister of Agriculture and Nevis come and talk about that, and then there's nothing, as you said, no plans, nothing come out to say, well, okay, well, cannabis is now an agricultural crop, and we know, before it was this, and now we have to we're hearing that. So I don't know.
This thing is still taboo, Yason. This thing is still taboo. People, you see a lot of those who speaking about cannabis. And even them who talk about it, even someone who speak about it, they don't even comfortable about talking about it. But they just are forced to talk about it because they got a choice. They still have their because personal feelings get involved in a lot of things because of indoctrination. You see what I mean?
But that is problematic, Banky.
Well, yeah, it's problematic.
It's like the reality right now. It's legal. Well, not legal, sorry. It's decriminalized. You could do X, Y, or Z, but because the people are not informed about it, and that is why you still have that lag where police is still allowed to do certain things, because the mindset is still as if it is the way it is in the past, and because people lack the knowledge of their rights at present because of the changes and so on, you have that lapse in between. That lapse between the law, the new regulation, those it affect, and how much they know about it, and what they can and cannot do, and should not do, and the general public on a whole understanding a bit of all of these changes. And it is expected that those who are in the leadership position should take the role of really seeking to empower their people, because that is what the people hire them to do, to look out for them, to represent them, to make sure that they inform them, and they are properly updated and whatever it is.
This is you have 3 more weeks before the year finish, and then we have 2024. Then we have 2025. So you have 12 more months to accomplish reducing the food import bill by $50 million. How possible do you see this happening? And then in the next 5 years span, in the following year, 2025, 2026, what plan is put forward that to lead the sector when it comes to, okay, this is what we're going to do in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Because you have to plan stuff like this, where you'll see how much more people see coming into farm with the interest, and who going to carry. If you're not planning by 5-year and 10-year plan, can you have people going to be moving out of the industry? You see what I mean? And stuff like that. So you got to be planning ahead. That's what I say. If you need, a lot of people studying to be doctors, but they're not specialized. You have general practitioner, then you need people to specialize in this, specialize in that. So you need 20 people to go specialize in this. If you want to lead your people, you must have 5 now and the next 5 or 10 in training. If you're not thinking like this, you're going to be importing people, and every island should be thinking like this. That is how you should. Because that's what other people, the developed world are doing. They skill their people and then export them. You're not supposed to import nobody, train your people, and then your own people looking after your people and developing your own country. And that's, if you're going to get this kind of mind frame, and then you should be getting better service too, because you're speaking your languages, people who know you. You see what I mean? This is how.
But you see, Babanki, the reality is that is how it should be. And the thing that we see, though, is that the only thing that we see, those who, in a lot of the cases, the people who we elect to represent us, the major skill that we see them have, or they seek to develop, is the skill that enables them to be able to win an election. That is the skill that they focus on. Not necessarily in terms of, empowering the people, because it's like something I was reading the other day that says, those who seek to oppress you, why would they give you a book or the information to equip you to overpower them? So it's like that kind of mentality. They want to maintain their position, and so they do whatever and play the games with the masses to keep the masses whether distracted, and uninformed on the real issues, and not focused on the real issues, and just more caught up with the petty party politics, and versus really dealing with the true matters. And these are some of the issues that we have. How can the total debt, this is a comment here from BJ Jones, how can the total debt 547 million and only 282 million allocated in the budget today? This is to tell you that they are not serious. The projected revenue is 150 something million. There's no dent going to make in bringing down that debt. Thus, how they are going to be able to free up money to contribute to agriculture.
Yeah, but that is the sector that can bring in the money. You see what I mean? If the resources is put in place and stuff like that. But if look at it, you put in the money in tourism, do you getting back the money that you put in tourism? Is this projection being made that because if you're not going to put the money in agriculture, you put the money in health and all this different stuff. Is the money reflecting back these resources, people getting all these resources, because that's what it's supposed to be. You see what I mean?
But based on these figures that I'm seeing here, Banky,
yes.
Like just looking at these figures here, like make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Here's it: you're in debt of
yes.
547 million.
Mm-hmm.
For this year, you only allocate 282 million.
Yes.
And your projected revenue, the amount of money that you expect to make, is 150.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still in a more debt again, Banky.
But
pure debt in a day,
But you have a budget ever been balanced?
Not since some, what I mean, it's getting worse and worse. Because when you look at this, I mean, $282 million, and you only expect to make back 150. So from the beginning, you're the last.
Yeah, but does it make but those people look at stuff like that? Are they just
That's the thing.
are they just
That's
okay?
the
Well,
thing. The average people don't. They hear. They just say, "Oh, they sound good." They go in the house and they hear them and they say they sound good.
yes,
But that's about it. But this is what I think is lacking, and I think a lot more of our young people, especially my former social studies students, I hope that you all really took in a lot of, what we dealt with back then. Social studies is a topic that I love teaching apart from agricultural science.
mm-hmm.
That was one of the other subjects that I taught at CXC level. And I enjoy teaching that subject because it touches on a lot of different topics. And one of them was government.
Yes,
So having a understanding of the government and the different types of governing systems and how they work and how they should function and so on. A lot of the young people need to zoom in on this. There is a talk that, um, one of the things that is lacking in our society is the fact that they took civics out of the schools. Back then you hear the older people talk about civics, so that they used to teach civics, and civics kind of expose you to knowledge about the government and how it operates and these basic things that we as average citizens should be aware of, but we are not necessarily um aware of or conscious of. And so that is something that we really should zoom in on. Well, I see you're dealing with some technical things there still. So yeah, but it's quite interesting when we look at these things. But for me, I I don't know. I seriously was hoping that more money would have been reflected in the agricultural budget. Especially seeing that we are at a crisis, we're in a crisis where that is concerned. Um, but I'll wait again until we get the information from the previous budget. Um, I don't know if I could probably see if I could look it up while we're here. But it is something that definitely would have to look for. The allocations for agriculture in the Nevis Island budget for 2022. Yeah, it is definitely, not reflecting a level of seriousness. And that is something that we definitely need to zoom in on. Okay, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, folks. For those of you who are listening out there, and viewing, we're dealing with a few little things in the background. But yeah, we really need to zoom in on the budget. You can really be serious about agriculture and not have a serious or significant increase in the budget to reflect that level of seriousness. And like I said earlier on today, when I heard that figure, I was definitely looking forward to hear something a bit more significant where agriculture is concerned. Um, the animal side of it, I must commend the premier for pointing out the fact that a lot more folks in the agricultural industry need to seriously take what they're doing as a business, and that was one of the things that he pointed out during the budget today. See, I'm a kind of person, right, Banky? If you do good and you speak good and you know what I mean, I'm gonna give you your credit, and that's just me. I have no beef in this political game. You know, some people is all about politics. I criticize, address issues that I see from my consciousness. I don't allow anybody to shape or fashion my opinion. I am a kind of person, that's why I would listen to the two sides or the three sides or all sides and then formulate my opinion. So some people would choose to not even listen to the other side and them kind of things, not me. You got a caller?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I am the kind of person. So I like in listening today, I heard that comment, and I do totally agree with that comment. That and that is something that I'm sure you would have heard, and me and you actually have been pointing out that on the program for several years now. That that's one of the key parts that's lacking where agriculture is concerned. We have great farmers,
Yes.
but the key now is to really start to see what they're doing from a business standpoint, so that you can, as you're talking about there with the business where you're saying with the plan for 5 years and you plan another 5 years, and it's the same concept. It should be with your animals, the same concept with your plants, so that you could have consistency. So you have your sheep, well, okay, a certain amount after they reach a certain age, I'm going to get rid of 20 or 40 or whatever it is, not having them for style. I have to say that's your wealth, and I got a billion new wealth, a million sheep, but so that like I said was a good point. But for me, still all those little things are helpful, but still would only put a little dent into the reality of things unless you seriously inject some serious capital into agriculture, and it should be reflected in the budget.
Okay.
And it's not there right now.
It's just like right now, in the next 2 weeks, basically it's Christmas time, and in these times, well, it's needed all you can find sorrel. And the amount of call I'm getting for sorrel, I give you all the sorrel seed, because you're going to plant no sorrel, because farmers them seem not to have any seeds, and they don't save the seeds. They come and say, how much seeds you give farmers this year. And we were talking about seed bank, so give away so much seeds. Those who they get a half bag, a shopping bag, lot of seeds. So you only have a few farmers now who is harvesting sorrel. So big up Acacia Ferguson, and then you have my Virgin Collie over in St. Kitts, and Trust I was harvesting early up. I'm not sure if Dole started harvesting already, Mike, but a lot of them seem to be behind. In Nevis, usually should we start harvesting sorrel up in November, and if you don't know when you planted, even down late October. If I think Trust I in Escabin harvesting stuff in October. You see what I mean? And sorrel is a crop you can go all year round, so I don't see the reason why we're just having this thing right here. We just can't. I don't know what to say. I manfully choose that to plant, and nobody gonna sorrel, and that is sad, because you still need sorrel in January, in February, in March, in April. You need it all year round, because you can freeze it, you can dry it, and you can do so much stuff with it. You can process it and have it like a Kool-Aid in a powder form. You can still use it. Make a nice tea also. It's a beautiful tea. You can make jams. It's so much you can do with that single crop, and we're just not using it. We're just still traditionally waiting for the Christmas, and then all the calls start coming. You need sorrel. It's one thing I can give our community for. We really drinking a lot of local drink, ginger beer, tamarind, golden apple, star fruit. So, and if you have to go back 20 years, it was not like that. You didn't have that large demand where you have so much local drinks selling. So everybody now into selling local drinks and stuff like that. So I must commend the general public and the locals for those who are getting involved. And it's a business. So you see different places. Even you come into Charleston on Saturday, Sunday, you'll see one or two person in town with the cool and selling local drinks. So people getting involved. So it shows that the demand is there for lime, for all these different fruits and stuff like that, to make all these local drinks. So even if one is into these things, we got to up the citrus planting, we got to up the golden apple plant, we got to go up all these planting. So we really not doing any planting, and that's just, especially when it comes to the fruit trees. We really need the next 100,000 coconut trees on the island. You see what I mean? If we're going to really move forward, and think it's going to need at least a good 200,000, because that's how you build an industry, because you must employ people. Agriculture employ a lot of people. Plus, You need water. Where all this water going to come from if you're going to import the food import bill? Then you must have a marketing strategy. Then you must have a storage, both cold and dry, and you must have that person, that technical person who understand refrigeration and temperatures and storage of different crop. That's a specialist needed when it comes to food in these things. You can't just be guessing. I'm not into guessing and all these things. You got to be precise and know exactly how different food store and ripen and all this stuff. So you can't go put tomato with broccoli and cabbage and all this different stuff because they're giving off different. You see what I mean? Because you're gonna spoil. So you see what the lady in Barbados did a year or two ago, Mia Martin, when she started getting involved with Brazil and moving some of the black belly sheep to Guyana, shipping about 40,000 50,000 there for them to raise and then bring them back to, and then she built a mega plant. You see what I mean?
Right.
Mega. Like you build in the Amazon, we have mega plant, millions of square footage. That's how you do things. You see?
Yeah, because she's planning to be able to have a food bank for the region in the event of any
well that's the whole
situation or
point.
crisis, which is something that we definitely need. I was listening to her on a presentation there for the COP28 issue there, and they were talking about seriously addressing that issue, setting up the storage, and also looking into the shipping, the movement, because they were saying air cargo is one thing, but
Of
they
course.
need to have that connectivity, that
Yes.
shipping connection, ease of movement of products and so on. So you hear these debates and positions and so, but I don't know why. But Banky, I was looking at, I was just doing a little quick research, and I don't know if my information is correct here, but I am seeing the budget estimates for 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am seeing an allocation for $7,179,500 for agriculture, lands and cooperative marine resources, and the disaster management.
For last year?
For last year.
So when we have in mind, I think it was 13 point something.
I don't know.
Where the
But
number come
I don't
from?
know if it was increased or anything, but that's what I'm seeing here. So if so, then I guess maybe the argument would be that they more than double it this year, because if they give 19, then based on the fact that it was 7 point something, that might be the argument that is being made, that they more than double it, so
Well-
you can.
Well, let's see where the money going to be spent at and how we're going to benefit the farmers, if any reach the fisher folks, those in agro-processing. That's what you have to see what you have to see where the money is. If it's allocated, then you see if it's really allocated, then you see if it add up how much is being spent out of it. Then you have to find the money, It's one thing to say there, but then you have to find it to put things into effect. So let's see how farmers are benefited and see how much can be reduced. Unless some of these money are for the building up of the poultry part and stuff like that, and whatever is in place. Well, we'll see.
Okay, there was another. Okay, so that's the 7, and then there was another summary that's capital expenditure. Okay, they spent the capital expenditure. Agriculture spent 4,600,000. I guess maybe next time when we have Alan back, Alan would be the guy for these kind of things here too. But yeah, it is interesting if that's the case though. Let's see how this play out, in terms of the figures that they would have put in, and let's see how it really play out.
Okay, son, we're gonna start wrapping up because we have Sister C gonna come on and play some music and do her thing this evening. We have a special show with Sister C. So any last wrap up before we go?
Okay, well, yeah, man. Ball B, yeah, he'll break up B from Cotton Ground.
Racco.
Wake up B. Yeah.
Okay.
A young you wake up. He does sing, man.
I got you.
Young he sing calypso, he sing dancehall, sing reggae and that kind of vibes.
I wonder if you same
Young youth from
I
Cotton Grove.
wonder for the youth. Okay. Have locks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a virgin man. Okay, that's where you go
Yeah,
by.
man, very good.
Yeah, man, good
Yeah.
youth.
Yeah, positive
Yes,
youth, yeah.
yes.
Big up the Jeffers at the bottom of Cotton Ground, Jessica.
Yeah,
I get my local
by the gazebo
links from
there.
them when I travel home to Nevis. All right. Yeah, man. Well, bless up Ball, B. Jones, and all those who are on the social media wall, the Facebook wall, those who join us on Twitch and YouTube and so on. I mean, we don't get to check out most of those chats on that side, but we do check out the Facebook chat.
Yes.
And if it's one thing, Banky, I love about this program here is that we do take the time out to,
of course,
follow through the thread and so on, because sometimes you listen to other talk shows and they sometimes really don't even pay attention to the comments and so on.
It's important. It's important because
it's important. You have to make your followers and listeners know that they're at least they're not here with us in the audience, and they may not make a call.
You recognize them.
We recognize the contribution.
Of
so
course.
To all who usually do that, and for the newcomers and for those who share the live, and we welcome that, and we do look forward to having you next week for another edition of Everything Agriculture.
Yes, and enough respect and appreciate you coming through again. We continue the show next week, Tuesday, where we have another guest, and then then we have three more shows. Next week we have a different guest. Then the third week, we have bringing Gator and along with Jerry, and then the end of the month we're working Alan, where we can continue go over this cannabis thing, because I can't see why they can't just make this thing simple as ABC. These law writing don't be so complicated that even them can understand their own writing. So that's the problem I have. They're complicating stuff that them themselves can understand.
They try to make it complex. They try to make it complex because they don't really want to deal with it. And then the fact that they got to deal with it now,
yes,
they want to deal with it now in a way that is beneficial to them and their cronies and their,
I got still you, of course.
Kind of leave out the little man,
Yes. But we're going to go, because our sisters are going to get started now, so we appreciate those who tuning in. Until next week, Tuesday, greatly appreciate the guys sticking with us.
Hey, this man Easy, inviting you to tune in to 2020 Vision Radio this Tuesday and every Tuesday night from 7 p.m.